So I'm Emily Brunsden and I'm a lecturer in physics, and what we are doing as part of our inclusive learning is we're developing 3D print models and the accompanying virtual diagrams that go with those to help students understand 3D structures in physics. So we've been looking through, this was, going back to the beginning, this project was inspired by, had a visually impaired student come into our program, and that student obviously cannot interpret the normal diagrams that we were putting it through in terms of the physics that was going on. So what we were inspired to do was to create some models that the student could use to interpret these structures in 3 dimensions. Of course, actually, 3-dimensional visualization is challenging for everyone, so we developed this project to be much broader than just for the visually impaired by extending out, producing models and the accompanying virtual diagrams that students can interrogate at any point during their learning. So we've been working on mostly concepts in the stage 2 of our program. We've been looking at topics in nuclear physics, in solid state physics and in thermodynamics. And we've been able to generate some really high resolution print models as well as some low, cheaper versions, which we're able to then, eventually we want to share these kind of ideas, share these print files with everybody so that anyone can download and print their own models that, or use the 3D diagrams that we're producing. Shall I show you some of the diagrams? How about that? So for example, this is one of the first ones that we did. This is based on the nuclear binding energy chart. And what we wanted to do was to show basically the binding energy per nucleon for lots of different N and Z values. So this 3D chart was one of the first ones we do. And it's actually part of a broader outreach program that we have called Binding Blocks, where we actually build this chart in Lego in 3 dimensions as well. So that's really nice link in with there. We have more basic models, which are sort of a low-res print, and these are all crystalline solid structures. And so these can be passed around in lectures and also have the 3D diagrams that go with them embedded on the VLE. And we also have this model here, which is a PVT diagram, different temperatures, pressures and phases of solids, liquids and gases. And this one we're working with not only incorporating labels on the diagram and embedded into the diagram itself, but also having raised labels in Braille as well, which can be used of course by visually impaired people. So that's where the project is now. We are working to create more and more diagrams, more and more physics concepts, but we're also working to make this an open, inclusive project, so anyone can help out, anyone can contribute. It's going to be kind of like a wiki of 3D ideas in physics.